With 25 years difference, I have to remind people.
Yeah.
And
you've been together for like 22?
25, yeah.
25, yeah.
Married 22.
Stand on that.
Okay.
Every time we go out and get photographed, she looks so much taller than me.
All right, there. Okay, wait to see you. In a little bit.
Love isn't always a fairy tale. It's those unexpected, wait, what? Moments that have us thinking maybe destiny's got a thing for surprise endings. From sliding into DMs, straight into weddings with Nick Jonas and Priyanka.
Hi guys, I'm Priyanka Chopra.
I'm Nick Jonas.
And this is really hard for me right now. We're gonna play this newlyweds game, which I just think I'm gonna lose.
To age gaps so smooth you almost forget they exist. Well, not according to Hilaria Baldwin.
There are advantages to being married to a man Alec's age. For one thing, he is a wonderful grandfather to our children. Every night.
These couples show that love really doesn't give a rip about the rules. Let's break down the love stories that made us all go, how did they end up together? You won't believe how these couples made it work.
Hi guys, I'm Priyanka Chopra.
I'm Nick Jonas.
And this is really hard for me right now. We're gonna play this newlyweds game, which I just think I'm gonna lose.
Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra are the ultimate Hollywood-Bollywood duo. Nick, the Jonas Brothers alum, and Priyanka, the Bollywood icon turned global star, first connected in 2016 when Nick slid into her DMs. They finally met at a Vanity Fair party where Nick literally dropped to one knee the moment he saw her. By 2018, they were dating, engaged, and planning not one, but two epic wedding ceremonies in India. Now, they're all about hyping each other up, blending cultures, and proving that age, she's a decade older, is just a number when you're living your best life. Next, George and Amal Clooney.
You know, she's this extraordinarily, fun, smart, beautiful, great woman, and, I was...
George and Amal Clooney are the definition of glam meets brains. George, the Hollywood heartthrob from Ocean's 11, crossed paths with Amal, the brilliant human rights lawyer, back in 2013 at his Lake Como home. Yes, he's that fancy. They clicked instantly and kept in touch through flirty emails before going on their first date in London. Things escalated fast. By 2014, George popped the question on a dreamy getaway, and later that year, they tied the knot in an ultra-luxe Venice ceremony. Oh, and George is 23 years older, but when you're that iconic, who's counting? Next, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas.
With 25 years difference, I have to remind people.
Yeah.
And
you've been together for like 22?
25, yeah.
25, yeah.
Married 22.
Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas are Hollywood royalty with a love story straight out of a rom-com. Michael spotted Katherine in The Mask of Zorro and was immediately smitten. He pulled some strings to meet her at a film festival, where he famously declared, "I'm going to be the father of your kids." Her response? A polite "good night," but Michael didn't back down. He sent her roses while she was filming in Scotland, and let's just say his persistence paid off. They got engaged a year later and had a glamorous wedding in New York. Now they're happily married with 2 kids, proving that a 25-year age gap means nothing when the connection's real. Next, Gal Gadot and Jon Varsano.
Gal Gadot and her husband, Jon Varsano, are expecting baby number 3. Gal announced the news on Monday with an Instagram photo of the couple and their 2 daughters, Alma and Maya.
Gal Gadot and Jon Varsano are couple goals in both love and business. Gal met Jon, an Israeli businessman turned producer, at a chill yoga retreat in the desert. They clicked instantly, spent the night talking, kissed at sunrise, and were practically inseparable on the drive back to Tel Aviv. Fast forward, they got married a couple of years later and now have 4 daughters. Jon even switched gears from real estate to team up with Gal in the entertainment world. Together, they run their production company, Pilot Wave, cranking out hit movies starring Gal. Oh, and Jaron's 9 years older, but they're too busy slaying life together to care. Next, Jeff Goldblum and Emily Livingston.
The Big Chill. Or
Only she hasn't seen many of my movies.
What?
Still, she didn't know who I was when we met, and she saw Jurassic Park in Russia with dubbed in.
Jeff Goldblum and Emily Livingston's love story proves that age is just a number. Jeff, the iconic Jurassic Park star, met Emily, a former Olympic gymnast, at a gym in LA back in 2011. He was instantly hooked and even showed up at her aerial show the same night. The two hit it off and made it official a few years later with a romantic wedding at the Chateau Marmont. Despite a 41-year age gap, they're living their best lives together and raising their two kids while balancing Hollywood and family like pros. Next, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi.
And on that.
Okay.
Every time we go out and get photographed, she looks so much taller than me. I'm taller than her. Let's settle this once and for all. You're always wearing these heels, and I feel so short next to you, so...
Can I have my shoe back
yes.
now?
All right. That's mainly why I had you on the show, to settle that, because...
Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi's love story is the definition of meant to be. Ellen, the queen of comedy and talk shows, met Portia, the Arrested Development star, backstage at a concert in 2001. Sparks were there, but it wasn't their time just yet. Fast forward to 2004, they reconnected, and this time, it clicked. Ellen popped the question in 2008, and they tied the knot in an intimate ceremony surrounded by their closest people. With a 15-year age gap, these two are all about love, laughter, and being each other's biggest cheerleaders. Next, Florence Pugh and Zack Brath.
That's what Zack does so well. He's so good at writing.
Florence Pugh, the queen of emotional, scene-stealing roles, and Zack Brath, aka the guy who made us laugh and cry on Scrubs, were once Hollywood's most unexpected couple. They met in 2019 while working on a short film, and not long after, the hand-holding in NYC gave it away. They were a thing. With a 21-year age gap, their relationship definitely had people talking, but they kept it low-key for the most part. By late 2022, though, they had called it quits. Florence later shared that she was taking some time to rethink her personal life and switch things up. Next, Dennis Quaid and Laura Savoy.
We get through this thing. This is like, you know, the best pre-marriage training you could possibly have.
So true. If you can make it through this, you can make it through anything.
We'll get through it.
Dennis Quaid, the guy we all know from The Parent Trap, found his match in Laura Savoy, who's not your typical Hollywood partner. She's an accountant and a total brainiac. These two met at a business event in 2019, and according to Dennis, it was love at first sight. Seriously, talk about main character energy. Straight out of a rom-com. It didn't take long for things to heat up. By October of the same year, Dennis popped the question during a getaway in Hawaii. Fast forward to June 2020, and they tied the knot in a super private ceremony. About their age gap, let's just say Dennis has almost 4 decades on Laura. But hey, love doesn't check IDs. Next, Matthew McConaughey and Camila Alves. Matthew McConaughey first crossed paths with Camila Alves back in 2006 at a club in West Hollywood. According to Matthew, she basically floated into the room and caught his eye instantly. From there, things took off, and by 2007, they were officially out and about as a couple. Fast forward a few years, and Matthew popped the question on Christmas Day 2011. They sealed the deal with a private wedding at their Austin home in 2012. Now they're busy being parents to their 3 kids, Levi, Vida, and Livingston, and keeping it low-key yet glam. Oh, and for the curious, there's a 12-year age difference between them, with Matthew being the older half of this duo. Next, Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin.
There are advantages to being married to a man Alec's age. For one thing, he is a wonderful grandfather to our children. Every night...
Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin's love story kicks off with a very New York meet cute. Back in 2011, Alec was dining at a now-closed vegan spot when he spotted Hilaria. Instead of going full rom-com and asking for her number, he handed her his card with a classic, "I must know you." Bold move, right? It worked. A few days later, they were on their first date, and things escalated quickly. By 2012, Alec was down on one knee, and the two tied the knot that summer in a beautiful New York City ceremony. Now, Alec, the Hollywood veteran, and Hilaria, a wellness guru, are juggling married life and their growing family. And there's a 26-year age gap between them, with Alec taking the seniority title. Next, Heidi Klum and Tom Cowlitz.
Oh. You know, I have not been super successful in the love department, so I kind of gave up on that for a while. But
now here we are.
Here we are again, round 3. Hopefully the last one.
Heidi Klum and Tom Collitz are the definition of unexpected but makes sense goals. She's the supermodel who ruled the Victoria's Secret runway and now keeps us entertained as a judge on America's Got Talent. He's the rock star guitarist from Tokyo Hotel who made all the emo kids swoon back in the day. Their meet cute happened at a party in Cannes in 2018, and sparks clearly flew because they were inseparable soon after. By the end of the year, Tom popped the question, and they kept their February wedding low-key before throwing a dreamy celebration in Capri later that summer. Heidi's got 16 years on Tom, proving age is definitely just a number when you've got that kind of connection. Next, John Stamos and Caitlyn McHugh.
I'm inspired by all the families in this world. I've met so many beautiful families, and I came from a fantastic family. She has a great family, so I'm just happy to be.
John Stamos and Caitlyn McHugh have one of those cute meets later kind of stories. He's the Full House heartthrob who's been making everyone swoon for decades, and she's an actress and model who's popped up in everything from I Am Legend to The Vampire Diaries. Their paths first crossed on the set of Law & Order, SVU back in the day, but nothing clicked until 2016 when Caitlyn showed up to a Fuller House taping to cheer on her roommate. John, ever the charmer, joked, "Are you stalking me?" And just like that, sparks started flying. Fast forward a year, and John was down on one knee. The pair tied the knot in early 2018, keeping things low-key before celebrating big later on. Oh, and fun trivia, there's a 23-year age gap, but honestly, they seem perfectly synced. Next, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble.
All right, there. Can't wait to see you. A little bit.
Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble's love story is definitely one for the books. Kris, the ultimate Kardashian-Jenner matriarch, and Corey, the talent manager with a knack for staying out of the spotlight, first crossed paths in 2014 at a party in Ibiza, hosted by none other than fashion legend Riccardo Tisci. Corey made the first move, introduced himself to Kris, and sparks flew almost instantly. They were soon spotted together on several romantic getaways, including a Mexico trip to celebrate Kris's birthday. Despite the 29-year age gap, they've been going strong, with Kris clearly loving the connection. Guess age is just a number when you're having fun, right? Next, Harrison Ford and Kalista Flockhart.
Harrison, straight ahead.
Harrison Ford and Kalista Flockhart's love story is one of those meet-cute moments you just can't forget. They first crossed paths at the 59th Golden Globe Awards in 2002, and let's just say Harrison made quite the impression by spilling wine all over Kalista's dress. But instead of making it awkward, Kalista later said that little mishap actually helped spark something between them. Fast forward, and the couple started dating soon after, with Harrison popping the question on Valentine's Day in 2009. They tied the knot in a low-key ceremony in 2010. Despite the 22-year age gap, these two have kept things solid, and it's clear they're in it for the long haul. Guess when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And lastly, Ty Pennington and Kelly Merrill.
HGTV star Ty Pennington has a lot to celebrate. The Extreme Makeover Home Edition alum revealed on Wednesday that he is engaged to his love, Kelly Merrill. "It's the yes for me," he captioned his adorable Instagram post.
Ty Pennington and Kelly Merrill's love story is the kind of thing you'd never see coming. They first met back in 2010 while Ty was filming a show in Toronto, but nothing happened at the time. Fast forward to 2020, and with the whole world in lockdown, the two decided to quarantine together. And let's just say, sparks flew. By 2021, things were moving fast, and Ty popped the question. They tied the knot in a super chill ceremony later that same year. Despite the 23-year age gap, this couple's clearly in it for the long haul, proving that love can come when you least expect it.